Let's be real, AI is absolutely everywhere. It's in our phones, it's helping run our hospitals, and businesses are pouring, well, trillions of dollars into it. But how do we know if any of it is actually any good? How do you give a report card to a technology this powerful? Well, that's what we're going to break down. I mean, seriously, think about it. From the apps you use every day to really complex stuff like medical diagnostics, AI isn't some far-off sci-fi concept anymore. It is completely woven into the fabric of our lives, and its influence is just getting bigger. And when I say bigger, I mean, wow. The AI industry is on a path to become $1 trillion market in the next decade. That is a mind-boggling amount of investment. So with that kind of money, and honestly, that kind of trust on the line, we have to ask the big question, right? How do you separate the marketing hype from what actually works? How do we know if an AI model is truly great or just really good at passing a specific test? Let's get into it. All right, so the whole journey of grading an AI model, it always kicks off in a controlled environment, basically a lab. This is where we get our first, clean, baseline understanding of what it can do, using cold hard numbers. And the bedrock of all that lab testing is something called an objective benchmark. Now, you can just think of it like a standardized exam for AIs. It's all about creating a level playing field so we can get a fair apples-to-apples comparison. This way, we're measuring real performance, not just what a company's marketing department wants us to see. And these exams for AIs, they have different sections, different kinds of questions. For speech to text, you've got word error rate, which is, exactly what it sounds like. How many words did the AI get wrong? For things like translation or summarization, there are metrics like BLUE and ROUGE, which kind of act like a fancy plagiarism checker, comparing the AI's answer to a human's. And for live apps, real-time factor tells us if the AI is fast enough to keep up with you. Every metric is a special tool for a very specific job. But, and this is a huge but, there's a catch. Getting a perfect score on all those lab metrics, what we might just call correctness, well, that's only the tiny little tip of the iceberg. This one image says it all, really. Most of what makes an AI truly good, truly reliable in the real world, is hidden way below the surface. So what's lurking down there in the cold, dark water? All the tough stuff, things like bias, robustness, fairness. Can the model handle weird, unexpected data without breaking? Can we even understand why it made the decision it did? These are the really complex, hard-to-measure qualities that can completely make or break an AI system out in the wild. And your standard lab tests? They often miss them entirely. So yeah, this is where our automated lab tests kind of hit a wall. To really get a feel for things like nuance or creativity or even just common sense, you need a much more sophisticated kind of judge. And that brings us to the next layer in our evaluation playbook. You see, for years, we've had this fundamental trade-off. On one hand, you have automatic metrics. They're super fast, they're cheap, they're consistent, but they have zero understanding of context. They can't tell if a summary is well-written, just if it contains the right words. On the other hand, you have human evaluation. That's the gold standard for quality, for sure. But man, is it slow, expensive, and just impossible to scale up. It's a classic dilemma. But now, things are getting really interesting because we have this wild new solution. What if we use one really powerful AI to act as a stand-in, a proxy for that human judgment? This whole approach is called LLM as a judge, and honestly, it is a total game changer. A really great example of this in action is a framework called G-Eval. See, instead of just vaguely asking an AI, hey, is this any good? G-Eval gives you a structured, repeatable way to turn a model like GPT-4 into a pretty reliable evaluator, complete with a detailed scorecard. Here's the simple 3-step process. First, you give the AI judge its assignment. You tell it exactly what you're looking for, your criteria. Then, and this is the really clever part, the AI uses what's called chain of thought reasoning to walk itself through the evaluation, explaining why it's giving the score it is. And finally, it spits out a nice structured score. This is how we're starting to get the nuance of a human judge, but at the incredible scale of automation. Okay, so we've got our lab tests, we've got our sophisticated AI judges. We should be all set, right? Nope, not even close. Because a model that aces every single test in the lab can still be a total failure when it meets the beautiful chaos of the real world. This is the final boss of AI evaluation. I mean, this quote from Sven Schmidt at EPO just says it all. You can run all the simulations you want. You can get perfect benchmark scores. But until you run a live A/B experiment with actual, real people, you have no idea what the true impact of your model is. It's the only way to measure what really matters, real-world outcomes. And I've got the perfect example of why this is so critical. It's the story of how Airbnb's search ranking team proved their value, even when all their hard work was completely invisible to the user. So here's the setup. Back in the day, Airbnb ranked search results using a pretty simple score. They decided to scrap that and build a super sophisticated new machine learning model that could understand everything: host quality, the vibe of a neighborhood, what a specific user might like. It was a massive technical upgrade. But here was the huge problem. From the user's perspective, nothing changed. The website looked identical. You searched for a city, you got a list of places, that was it. So how could the team possibly prove that their fancy, expensive new model was any better than the old, simple way of doing things? The A/B test was the proof. They ran the old model for some users and the new one for others, and the results were just undeniable. This invisible, behind-the-scenes change was driving more bookings than almost any other flashy new feature the company was launching. That hard data, and only that data, is what convinced leadership to pour massive investment into machine learning. It proved the ROI plain and simple. Whew, so we have gone from the sterile, perfect conditions of the lab all the way to the unpredictable world of real users. So now, let's put it all together into one clear, modern playbook for how to grade AI. Here it is. It's a simple 3-stage process. You always start in the lab for those quick quantitative checks. Then you bring in the human and AI judges to check for all that nuance and quality that the basic metrics miss. And finally, you prove its real-world value in production with A/B tests that measure actual impact on your goals. Each step logically builds on the last one. And that's really the ultimate takeaway here. There is no magic bullet, no single test that tells you everything. A truly great evaluation strategy isn't about picking your favorite method. It's about layering all of these techniques together, from the lab to the judge to the live experiment, to get a complete 360-degree view of how your model actually performs. And that kind of leaves us with one last big thought. We've built this really sophisticated playbook for the AI of today. But as these models get even more powerful, even more autonomous, even more complex in how they reason, how are our report cards going to have to change? How do we build the evaluation tools not for the AI we have now, but for the AI of tomorrow?